big day for Canada at the Vatican, where two Canadian saints have been honored with a special Mass. The Mass was led by Pope Francis. The event celebrated two saints canonized by the Pope back in April, St-François-de-Laval and Ste-Marie-de-l'Incarnation. St-François-de-Laval was the first Roman Catholic bishop of Quebec. Ste-Marie of the Incarnation was a nun and missionary who established a convent in Quebec. More than 400 Canadians attended today's ceremony. Among them was the Archbishop of Quebec, Cardinal Gérald Lacroix. He joins us now from Rome. Cardinal Lacroix, tell us more about today's ceremony.
Well, listen, we are overwhelmed with joy to have celebrated this Mass of Thanksgiving with Pope Francis. He invited us, many pilgrims from Quebec and from Canada and other parts of the world, to come give thanks to the Lord for these two wonderful models of holiness and of missionary life that finished their life in Quebec. And so it was a wonderful celebration.
What more can you tell us about these two saints?
Well, François-de-Laval arrived in Quebec as a young bishop. He was 36 years old, and that's fairly young for a bishop. And he came to build a church. He was the first bishop of all of North America, north of Mexico and the Spanish colonies. His diocese, his first parish, was right from Acadia to the East Coast, way down to Louisiana and out west. It was just very, very huge. But there weren't many people yet. It was just a few hundred French settlers. But he came as a missionary to build up the church and to evangelize the native peoples and to bring them the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. He also founded a seminary. He was recognized during his life as a holy man, a man who was very generous, very close to people, to the poor, who was not only preoccupied by building the church, but also preoccupied by building this new world, a new society. Mm-hmm. And then Ste-Marie-de-l'Incarnation was a religious nun. Curiously, she came to Quebec. She was already 40 years old. She had been a wife, a mother, then became a widow, and took care of her child for many years, then entered the convent and came when she was 40 with the Ursuline nuns. She arrived 375 years ago this year. And she founded the first school in North America, the first school for girls, French girls, but also of the native peoples. She helped a lot to educate young girls and help families. So these two models of holiness, of generosity, of love of God, but love of humanity are really great models for us today, and we're happy to have them.
And as you celebrate these two saints at the ceremony, Pope Francis had some remarks specifically for Quebec. What did he say?
Yes. He knows that the two of them lived in Quebec and died in Quebec for the last part of their lives. And he knows history, and he knows that Quebec has been very, very generous in sending missionaries all over the world. The province of Quebec, not only our diocese, but all the dioceses have sent hundreds, if not thousands, of missionary priests, brothers and sisters and lay people all over the world. Now, for the past decades, it's slowed down quite a bit. He invited us to become fruitful again and to continue to prepare and to send missionaries. We need them at home to evangelize, of course, the Quebec people. But the Pope says, don't close yourselves in. Keep sending missionaries all over the world. So he's very encouraging. He's filled with hope, and he transmits that very well to us. And we hope to be able to transmit and communicate that to the people of Quebec.
And Cardinal, what else? What was it like for you to address Pope Francis? I understand he gave you a hug. Were you prepared for that?
Well, I don't know if you're ever prepared to receive a hug from the Pope, but it was very moving for me to be able, in front of all those people who were watching all over the world, to address myself. As you notice, I spoke in French. He does understand French, although he doesn't speak it much. And I wanted to speak the tongue of most of the people of the province of Quebec. And so I was very moved to address him and thank him for the canonization and for the celebration. And then they told me, well, go greet him and he was waiting for a hug, and he told me, courage, continue your mission, and pray for me also. So, and the last thing he said to me was, don't forget what I told you. You need to send missionaries out to the world. So that's pretty, it's very engaging.
Well,
I like it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your stories with us, Cardinal. Yes, thank you. Cardinal Gérald Lacroix, the Archbishop of Quebec, joining us from Rome.